Hi folks, it's Crazy Jason here in my humble abode with the other Jason, and we are about to review Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, right?
Right.
Not to be confused with the Harvey Keitel Bad Lieutenant.
The original.
Right.
Actually, I think this one's better, but...
Yeah, I do too, except for Harvey Keitel's wailing.
Yeah.
You know,
Good
I
point.
gotta love that wailing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are gonna take a seat, crank up the surround sound, and watch this movie.
On our first edition of Cackalacky Movie Madness, Blu-Ray bullshit.
What'd you think?
I loved it. Had seen part of it a few weeks ago, and just now got around to watching the entire thing, and thought it was great. The production was excellent. The production design, I think they made a really smart choice in actually utilizing the demolished parts of New Orleans, because let's face it, you can't get that kind of texture even in trying to recreate it. So that looked really good. Overall, it was kind of I got a dark comedy vibe out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It kind of I got a David Lynch vibe out of a lot of it as well, mainly because so much of it was dreamlike, like the iguanas and
the alligator cam.
And I won't spoil the ending, but there's another scene where
For some viewers, it'll kind of go off the rails about a third of the way into it. They'll be like, what the hell? You know, with Nicolas Cage's voice inexplicably just turns into an impersonation of Jimmy Stewart for no reason whatsoever that I can think of. So
it gave Nicolas Cage the chance to kind of do what, in my opinion, he does best, which is play a character that's about that far from complete insanity.
From snapping. Yeah, Nicolas Cage for a number of years has started to get on my nerves because he was just being Nicolas Cage. And he is being Nicolas Cage in this movie, but for some reason it doesn't get on my nerves. For some reason this is the Nicolas Cage that I love. Interesting, you mentioned similarities in his character in that film, some similarities in his character in Leaving Las Vegas.
Very self-destructive there too.
Yeah, interesting too that his name in this film is Lieutenant McDonough, and for you film buffs will instantly recognize that McDonough is also his last name in Raising Arizona. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but
as far as the disc itself, looked great. Blacks were pretty inky.
Deep, yeah.
Colors popped well. There's a scene, I think it comes through in the menu screen with a fish and a glass of water, and
that's a good demo
sediment
shot.
from the bottom of the glass is, floating around in the water. It was very good transfer. It runs about 25 megabits per second, is encoded in AVC, and the soundtrack that we were using was the Dolby True HD, and that was pretty much dead on 1 megabit per second, which is not huge by today's standards, but I thought the soundtrack did a fine job. Some decent ambient sounds. It's kind of front heavy, but
yeah, no room rumbling, jump out of your seat, but
it's not
adequate.
That kind of movie.
Yeah, this is the third time I've seen it actually, and watching it now on Blu-ray. It's one of those movies I would definitely recommend, but it depends on your taste. I don't know if I'd recommend this on a blind buy, because I can see very easily how somebody could be turned off by this movie. But I would definitely check it out. It's just one of those movies that I could watch over and over for years to come.
It's definitely an experience movie. You can't really relay to somebody how good it is or how much they're going to like it. Each person's it's going to be a love or hate movie. I don't see anybody that's going to be middle of the road on this one.
And by the way, if you're expecting a sequel to Bad Lieutenant starring Harvey Keitel, this has nothing to do with Bad Lieutenant other than the title, which, by the way, this one is The Bad Lieutenant. The only similarities being that you have a police officer who's bad.
And doing lots of drugs.
Doing drugs. But, other than that, it could have been called anything, really. It doesn't have any direct relation to the other film. And personally, I prefer this one, if we're going to compare apples and oranges.
I'd have to agree. It's been a number of years since I saw the first one.
I mean, yeah, it's been a while. We'd have to check. I mean, that's one I would love to see on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Bad Lieutenant is more of a gritty film, much more low budget.
Put Harvey Keitel back on the map, really, but
Yeah, and you got Harvey Keitel and you got Nicolas Cage, two very charismatic actors who can get into some pretty crazy, zany moods. But yeah, all of the secondary characters in the film, all of them had, there wasn't anybody that was, cookie cutter. They all had good traits. I don't know, there's not really anything bad I can say about this film. Some people won't like the ending. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but the way it turns out, people will think, that's BS. But I don't know. I just had to laugh. I thought it was funny.
yeah,
I thought it was good.
there are lots of very comedic moments throughout the movie, and then the end too. It's like the best punchline to the darkest joke you ever heard.
So I give this movie a solid 4.5. What are we? Mushroom Clouds?
Yeah, Mushroom Clouds, sure, why not?
Picture itself, movie itself, 4.5 Mushroom Clouds. Give the picture quality a solid 4.5 Mushroom Clouds. Audio, I'd give a 4. We didn't really get into the supplements, but
There's not a whole lot on there, really. And I think there's a commentary, which we didn't have time to check out. But overall, I'd say definitely a disc. If you enjoyed the movie, you want to see it again, definitely worth buying. If you haven't seen it, definitely it's a must-see movie. And if you're adventurous, sure, blind buy it. I did, don't regret it at all.
you gotta be bold.
Gotta.
We here at Cackalacky Movie Madness, we're bold. Balls to the wall.
You got to get in it to win it.
That's what your grandma says. So
Nice. Well, that was it for our first edition of Cackalacky Movie Madness Blu-ray Bullshit.
that's right. This segment is from now on going to be known as Blu-ray Bullshit, where we shoot the shit about a movie.
Because there's too many standard reviews out there where the guy goes, picture quality, this number out of this, and it had this supplements, and there is very, it's a process every time. It's the same fucking thing. So we want to make it, a little more entertaining.
Yeah, we're going to give you something that you don't normally see or read. If you want just the specs, places online you can get that.